Hi everyone and welcome to Season 14, Episode 7 of From Hope to Glory at Truro City with me, the United City FM. So before we get into any spoilers, can I encourage anybody that didn't watch the last episode to go back and catch that? There's some big stuff in there. It was quite an epic episode. Easy for me to say. So go check that one out before you get going on this one. If you're going to stick around on this one though, today we've got Leicester City in the Premier League. Let's do it. So personnel-wise, mostly everybody is fully fit and still ready to go. So we've been great at being able to rotate this 11 at the right points and keep everything moving forward. There is an injury issue though. First off, we've got Swan, who's going to be out for the next few days. Byrne has come in and played pretty well down on that right fullback position. But if we can get Swan back sooner rather than later, I'll be happy. The big one, though, is Signorelli. We saw in the most recent schedule, he'd been putting some goals in. He's scored 3 in his last 2 matches, I think it was. And unfortunately, after that, he picked up an injury. And he's going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks, which basically ends his season. We've only got about another month to play. And that's not going to be soon enough for him to get back, unfortunately. He's picked up a torn groin muscle. So, yeah, Signorelli out of action, unfortunately. He's not our number 1 choice striker at the moment. Abu Bakar is. But as you saw, he was in good form. So it's really disappointing that that's the case. We've still got the likes of Henderson who can come on the bench and fill a role. Abu Bakar, you're going to have to basically play for the rest of the season. We'll see how that goes on. But everybody else is doing really, really well at the moment. So for today's match, we go in with Wendell in goal, Byrne at right back, Calafiori at left back, Claridge and Colombini in central defence, McGeary, Betchlis and Morrison in central midfield, White on the right, Lax on the left and Abu Bakar up top with a bench of Joan, Ionel, Silva, Marks, Fernandez, Lawrence and Henderson. Let's get into today's game and see what happens. Having beaten Arsenal in the previous match really quite comfortably, I've gone with go out there and carry straight on with what you've done in the last match, and I've done it outstretched arms. So lots of positivity in today, and we'll see whether we can take that into a tricky game against 8th position Leicester. They're a good side. They're going to be a problem to us, and they're at home as well. So it's going to be challenging, but we'll see how we get on. With our form, as you've seen from the new year onwards, have been magnificent. It doesn't mean that we can't fall at any of these hurdles. Half a dozen matches to play, still in that Premier League title shout. We'll see how we get on. White down the right-hand side, crosses into Lax, and Lax puts the header back across the goalkeeper and puts it into that top corner. And we do go 1-0 up after just coming up to 8 minutes. Really good work on the right-hand side from a throw-in, originally from Byrne into White, gets it out from his feet quickly, turns, sprints past the defender, puts the cross in, and Lax on the far post, heads it back across the keeper, and he can't get to it, and we go 1-0 up. And just at the moment, you can see in the middle of the picture there, we've gone top of the Premier League briefly. Man United playing at the moment. We'll see what happens with them. But it's Leicester City on the ball at the moment, and they're coming back at us down the right-hand side. We've moved on to just under 13 minutes, so another 5 minutes on from when we scored the goal. And they've worked the ball nicely, but Claridge gets a good header out, but it only falls to a Leicester player. Back into the box, and at the near post, he pokes the ball at the goal, but the goalkeeper, Wendell, gets down and covers the ball brilliantly well and claims it comfortably. Wendell is doing fantastically well for us. Anybody out there that doesn't think that a goalkeeper can get a good average rating on Football Manager, on this occasion, Wendell is proving everybody wrong. He's got a 7.28, I think it was, average rating for the season. He's our best player in terms of average rating. Excuse me. And he's done fantastically well. So hopefully that doesn't put the kibosh on him on this match and he'll create an absolute howler now for a goal, you watch. But he has been brilliant. Leicester having the better of the game in a lot of ways. They've created more shot opportunities. Their XG rating is far in advance of ours, but obviously Wendell has been a bit of a brick wall in front of them. A little bit lower in possession than we are, but overall, they've got to be reasonably happy with this first half. And I'm doubly happy because we have been outplayed a little bit, and we are still 1-0 up at the back. We go right over the top really quickly. Abu Bakar tries to get it out at the goalkeeper. Couldn't quite manage it just as the half-time whistle was going. Has a shot, but it's blocked brilliantly by the defender. And we do go 1-0 up into half-time. 10 shots at goal, 2 on target for them, 1.7 average XG rating, should I say. For us, only 2 shots at goal, 1 on target, 1 goal, 0.12 XG rating. They didn't expect us to get the goal that we did, but we did. A little bit more possession. It's on a bit of a knife edge though, isn't it? So in we go. We're going to pump the fists. We're going to say, well, you've played well. There's still room for improvements. Excuse me, my chest is causing me a little bit of a problem just at the moment. Hopefully that will clear as the second half goes on. Alfredo on the ball for Leicester. They switch it over to the far right-hand side as the early stages of this second half go on. Lax clears the ball up to Abu Bakar, but it doesn't read it. It doesn't do particularly well. Let's go into the shouts and just fire them up for after this particular highlight and see if we can get something out of this group of players. Brilliant defensive tackle right in the middle of the 6-yard box, and he slid in, took the ball, had to, otherwise he'd have been in a lot of trouble, but he did, and we get it cleared. Defensively, looking solid most of the time so far in this particular match. Leicester are still having the chances compared to what we have, but we are holding on. We're going to take it out of the positive and back into balanced as a... Wow! That took me by surprise. As I was taking it back down to balanced mentality from positive, we had a free kick from Morrison, who puts it from that far side all the way into the centre of the penalty box. And Claridge, our central defender, up for the free kick, gets above everybody else. And again, we catch them off guard. 2 goals we've scored from a 0.17 XG rating, the expected goals. Another brilliant block at the back there from a free kick from Leicester City. We get it cleared. They pick up the loose ball and the highlight goes. But we are absolutely taking those moments as perfectly as we could do. I mean, pretty much every part of the statistics says that Leicester should be winning this match, and we are FMing them. We really totally are. Let's go and make a couple of changes, keep everybody fresh and fit and healthy as much as we can. Having been 2-0 up and with Signorelli out, we're going to rest Abu Bakar at this point. He's not playing brilliantly anyway. Henderson can come in and finish the game off. Then we've got a couple of slightly lower rated players. So White will come out, Fernandez will go in. And the last one here is Betchless. And we're going to put Marks into that attacking midfield role. Not the attacking midfield role, the central midfield role. And those are the changes that we're going to make. So we're not going to change the shape or the style of play. We're still going to sit in the balanced mentality. We're not going to go too ultra deep, but we're not going to go gun-ho either. 15 minutes still to play. We are going to see if we can hold out here. Leicester City again with a chance. Free kick on this near side gets swept over to that far right-hand side, and eventually we head it clear. And again, it's a 1 for us. And again, it's in the box and almost from Lax. But he swept the ball right-footed into the side netting. But again, our chances may not come very often, but we are getting a couple. And when we get them, we do look dangerous. 5 minutes still to play. We've got that 2-goal advantage. I think the result is secure. Can we keep a clean sheet now? I'm not sure we can. Leicester on the ball again in another highlight. Down the right-hand side, crossing the box. And Calafiori this time boots the ball clear, but Leicester win it back and get it back at us. They've had to take it all the way back to their goalkeeper to remain in possession of the ball. That gives us a little bit of a chance to reset ourselves defensively, and we have looked very strong defensively. And at 89 minutes, they charge back at us and then have a really wayward shot. goes miles away from the goal, and we can breathe a sigh of relief at this point with a couple of moments left to play. There is the final whistle. We eventually win the game 2-0 off a 0.4 expected goals rating. We've done fantastically well. 50-50 possession. They had a load more shots than we did. We picked it up a little bit in the second half, but it was a magnificent defensive display all across the back four and the goalkeeper. Look at that. 7.8, 7.7, 7.6, 7.4, 7.6 across the back five. We got a couple of really good performances out of our attacking midfield area as well, and everybody else played their part brilliantly. And we get 3 very valuable points. And let's see what that does to the league. So what it means for the league is actually we still stay in second position. Manchester United won their game as well. So we've now played 33 games each, both on 68 points. They've got a far better goal difference than we have. So we'll have to get above them in points terms to get above them in the league this season. Man City have not played their 32nd match yet. So they're a couple of games behind now with a 5-point gap. So they've got a little bit of work to do. If they can win both those games, of course, they go back to the top of the table. If they don't, it becomes really open to us. And if they don't, and it becomes between Manchester United and ourselves, let's go and have a look into the schedule, because the second game towards the end of the season for us, the penultimate match, is Truro City at home against Manchester United. So depending on what's happening at the point where we play that game, I'm either going to come back next episode, the final episode on Wednesday this week, and we'll either play the Manchester United game and maybe an FA Cup final, and possibly leave out the Villa match, depending on where everybody is at in points terms, or we'll play the Villa match on its own, or we'll play the FA Cup final on its own, depending on where everything sits in that final week of the season. So I'm not 100% sure what we're going to do, but what I can pretty much guarantee at this point is that next episode, the very final episode of the entire series with Truro City, is going to be pretty epic, I hope. So I hope you'll come and join me for that. Until then, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. What a brilliant performance that was in the end to get those 3 points. We'll see how we go in the run-in to the very end of the season. So subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and join my United City community. The more the merrier. Click that like button on this particular episode. That'll help me get seen by more people. Until next time though, take care of yourselves. I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.